Hello everyone! A lot of you have requested this game already, well, maybe even a match to show a couple of games, Garry Kasparov versus Deep Blue. Before I show you the game and tell you a little bit about this match, I just wanted you to know that the Amazon gift cards have been sent away and that the championship chess set is also on its way to Lukajovic. So I think that takes care of the prizes, and once again congratulations to the winners of the giveaway. Now, on to this match. Kasparov played two matches against IBM's Deep Blue, one in 1996 and one in 1997. The one in 1996 was played in Philadelphia, and it's considered not to be Deep Blue, it's considered to be Deep Thought, because the one in 97 was like an upgrade, so that one is called Deep Blue. And Kasparov won the match in 1996 with a result of 4-2. And out of those 6 games, Kasparov offered a draw in game 5, and Deep Blue refused. Well, Deep Thought refused the draw. So Kasparov managed to win game 5 with the black pieces, and then of course won game 6 with the white pieces. So it was a pretty clean victory for 4 against 2, against the supercomputer. And then IBM requested a rematch in 1997. This was the upgraded Deep Blue. And unlike for the first match in 1996, where Kasparov lost the first game, in 1997 in round 1, Kasparov won the first game. Then Deep Blue won the second game. Then 3 games were drawn, and the result is 2.5 to 2.5, and this is game 6. So let's see this historic game 6. And why do I say historic? Because this 1997 match, Garry Kasparov versus Deep Blue, is the first time in history that a computer managed to win a match against a reigning world chess champion. So let's see this beauty. Deep Blue has the white pieces, and he, well, whatever you want to call it, it plays e4. We have c6, d4, and d5. In game 4 of this match, Kasparov tried d6, but here he goes for d5. Knight to c3, we have d captures on e4, knight captures on e4, and the knight to d7. Kasparov goes for the Karpov variation. We have knight to g5, now knight to g to f6, bishop to d3, Kasparov goes e6, and knight 1 to f3. And here Kasparov has a lot of options to go for. He can go for bishop to d6, he can go for queen to c7, he can even go for something like bishop to b4 check. But Kasparov played a move that I'm pretty sure he wouldn't play against a human player. He played h6, thinking that there is no way that, that a computer will take advantage of this and sacrifice a piece. But that's exactly what happened. In this position, Deep Blue played knight captures on e6, and Kasparov played queen to e7. Of course, you don't want to capture f captures on e6. You get bishop to g6 check, and after king to e7, bishop to f4, and your position is extremely hard to play. You can't develop any of the pieces. The rooks are staying where they are. This bishop can't go anywhere. So this would be very pleasant for white. So after knight captures on e6, Kasparov played queen to e7, now pinning this knight. Deep Blue now castles, and we have f captures on e7. Of course, you don't want to capture with the queen. Unfortunately, you have to mess up your pawn structure because queen e6 and then rook e1. So after castles, Kasparov played f captures on e6, and now, of course, he had to allow bishop to g6 check, king to d8, and now bishop to f4. Now putting his bishop on this beautiful diagonal, guarding c7, not allowing the king to leave the center of the board. We have b5 by Kasparov, going for some bishop b7, maybe bishop a6 idea, and trying to get the king somewhere to the queen side, to a safe place. a4, Deep Blue immediately wants to bust open the queen side pawn structure. Bishop to b7, and now rook to e1. Deep Blue is preparing bishop to f5 to pin this pawn on e6. We have knight to d5 now, attacking the bishop on f4. Bishop to g3, of course, Deep Blue doesn't want to give up this powerful bishop. King to c8 now by Kasparov, and we have a captures on b5. C captures on b5, and queen to d3. Now threatening to capture this b5 pawn. And here Kasparov played bishop to c6. Maybe a better idea was something like knight to c7, but then you get rook to a3. Rook is coming to c3, and this will be very hard to play for black. This bishop is still eyeing c7. So instead, Kasparov, after queen to d3, played bishop to c6, and now bishop to f5. Deep blue pins this pawn, and Kasparov decides to give up the queen for a bishop and the rook. He played e captures on f5, giving up his queen. He could have played something like knight to b4, but this doesn't really go in his favor. Okay, this does give you a tempo on the queen, but now queen to c3. You're threatening the knight, you're threatening the bishop with the queen. After the knight moves, the e6 pawn is still attacked, and after something like a5, rook captures on e6, and if you want to play something like queen to d8 to try and save everything, rook captures on c6. If you capture knight captures c6, queen c6 leads to checkmate. Queen c7, queen captures on c7, and after rook captures on c6, if you play king to b7, then bishop to e4, and you're losing this game very hard. So after bishop to f5, Kasparov decided not to go for any of this. He played e captures on f5, rook captures on e7 by deep blue, and now bishop captures on e7. So okay, Kasparov has a rook and two pieces for the queen. But here, this is move 19, deep blue plays c4, and in this position, on move c4, Kasparov resigns the game. The world champion decides that in this last game there is no chance for him to continue this fight. If he managed to draw this game, it would, the end result in a match would be a draw. He wouldn't lose the match, because in the end he lost the match 3.5 to 2.5. But what happens now? Well, if something like b captures on c4, then queen captures on c4, threatening the bishop here. And after knight to b4, protecting the bishop, rook to e1, now threatening to grab the bishop and then the knight. And after something like rook to e8, you simply grab it, rook captures, queen captures. Now you're threatening the rook on e7. Also ideas like queen a5 to queen c7 checkmate are here. So after something like king to d8, you can always play bishop to h4, pinning the rook, g5, knight captures, h captures, bishop captures. This rook is, going to be captured with check, and Kasparov decided not to go for any of this. So after c4, he decided to forfeit the game, and deep blue was the winner of the 1997 match. And of course, Kasparov was very angry. He said that there is no way that a computer can play a game like this, such a highly tactical game. To decide to give up a piece. Computers in those days were extremely materialistic. So Kasparov, said that the deep blue was probably aided by other grandmasters, which is, to be expected, I guess. Some people even say that IBM had Bobby Fischer, that Bobby Fischer was giving them moves for IBM to play. Some chess fun. So yeah. That's the game. You requested the Garry Kasparov versus Deep Blue. If you want to see any other games from the 1997 or the 1996 match, just write something, in that fashion in the comment section. I would like to thank Eric Wilkinson, Bolivar Luis da Costa Vieira, and Antonio Couri for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check two of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon.